Presumably by now you have watched the first part of this video, and now we're going to get into the second. Beware, this episode 6, is so fucked, I probably will end up having to make at least 2 more videos after this one. So fair warning. Okay, moving on. Now, Miss Culhane, she of the hand coughing, did not disclose that in the order that she had to file a deviation of protocol in this case because she contaminated the control sample. How in the fuck do you even get to be a DNA analyst, Miss Culhane? Because clearly you are shitty at your job. And here's a little something that you don't see in the documentary. That same lab, while it was testing the Teresa Halbach evidence, had to terminate one of its analysts for being drunk on the job. How in the fuck can you take anything seriously from a lab where the lead analyst can't even get a control sample without contaminating the fucking thing, and they have an issue with keeping their employees not loaded at work? Okay? Just basic question. Just a little bit important. Now, whatever the other fucking DA's name is, at the press conference following this lovely fracas of stupidity, states that it's not real life to presume that protocol is the protocol and you never deviate from that. That's not how life works. The whole fucking case was a deviation of protocol. You're not supposed to allow anyone, any investigators onto the crime scene that are not directly assigned to the case. And guess what fucking happened? Link and Colburn were on the scene and they were not directly assigned to the case. And what the fuck is the point of having protocol if you're not supposed to ever deviate from it? Come on, people. There's a reason that it's called protocol. Why do I have to explain? Why does a mother of 6 have to tell you people how to do your jobs? For fuck's sake. And then he proceeds to say, sometimes you just have to deviate from protocol to make sense. That entire sentence perfectly sums up this entire case. They did nothing but deviate from protocol so that they could make the evidence fit their essence of sense. The fuck is going on over there in Wisconsin? Now, they also, beyond the fucking bullet fragment with Teresa Halbach's DNA, yuck. They found not a single drop of blood, not a single sample of Teresa Halbach's DNA anywhere else in the garage or the house. And they tore up the fucking floor of the garage. They took a jackhammer in there and tore that shit to hell. They tore it up worse than a brand new inmate's ass first night in general population in state prison. And they didn't find a single shred of Teresa Halbach's DNA anywhere on the property but that bullet fragment. That alone right there calls their entire case into reasonable doubt. Show me one other shred of Teresa Halbach's DNA anywhere, and I will do a jig on camera. And don't tell me the bones, because they didn't find fucking DNA on those either. Sorry, sweetheart. They didn't. They did not, Miss Culhane did not examine the mattress or the bedding. Why not? Oh, that's why. Because there was no fucking blood on either one. None. Zilch. Zero. Nada. Not a fucking drop. But she was stabbed in the fucking trailer and her throat was slit and she was raped and she was beaten. So why would there be DNA? Everybody cites the bathroom floor. Well, drops of her blood were found on the bathroom floor. No. In fact, I've been reading through the DNA analysis report. After I get that finished, because it's a pretty dense fucking document, I will tell you everywhere that they found Teresa Halbach's DNA. And guess what? The vast majority of it was in her own fucking vehicle. The one bit that they did find Teresa Halbach's DNA that wasn't in her vehicle was on the goddamn bullet. That's it, folks. Not a single drop of DNA in that house. And that includes the blood that was the blood, whatever the fuck that substance was on the bathroom floor, was not Teresa Halbach's DNA. The key in the bedroom was found on the 7th search. Seventh search. Why did it take 7 searches? And the bones in the burn pit were never actually definitively linked to her. Now, get this. This is what I love. I've talked to a couple of buddies of mine. One of whom actually is a ballistics expert. Another who works at a shooting range here where I live. And another who's a hunter. And I've actually asked the question of another hunter friend of mine. Just because I want to get as many opinions as possible. Everybody has stated that despite the fact that the bullet fragment is a .22 and the rifle that they have attributed to the crime is a long-range rifle, despite the fact that it is a long-range rifle, which means it has a significant amount of power behind it, it still would not have given that .22 bullet enough power to punch through a human skull. A fragment may have made it through a human skull, but that's iffy still. But you cannot shoot a human being at close range with a long-range rifle without having a severe noise issue. Anybody on the Avery property hear a gun go off that day? Yeah, I didn't think so. People, these are the questions you have to ask yourself. You can't just take everything at face value. Not only did the prosecution not take anything at face value, they fucking fit it into their own goddamn storyline. Now, if you take what little evidence they have to prove Stephen Avery's guilt, it's circumstantial at best because you've got one bullet with no visible blood on it with trace DNA evidence of Teresa Halbach's that then has to be thrown out because the control sample was contaminated. You've got a RAV4 key, not her RAV4 key, in Stephen Avery's bedroom, but it wasn't found until the 7th search, and it was found by 2 police officers that were not even supposed to be on site. So that gets thrown out. And you've got the bones in the burn pit, true, but you also have bones in the burn barrel and bones in a quarry that all are linked to Teresa Halbach. So, thus, you cannot definitively prove where the primary burn site was, which means that you can't definitively prove where the fucking primary kill site was. Where's the first crime scene? Stephen Avery's home is only a secondary crime scene. Where's the first one? Because there's no blood, there's no spatter, there's no vaginal secretions, there's no DNA, there's no evidence of rape, there's no evidence of a beating, there's no evidence of a stabbing, there's no evidence of a shooting, there's no evidence of burning a body in the burn pit. There's just bones in the burn pit, and we've discussed that. So, I'm going to finish the rest of this episode, and I will present to you my analysis of the last half of episode 6 in the very next video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.